Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Studio Series number 51. This is Deluxe Class Soundwave. So this is the first Soundwave toy we've received in the Studio Series line. The first one since the Dark of the Moon toy line, which is, obviously the film that he's from. Soundwave does transform into this nice little Mercedes sports car. I don't know the exact model, I'm not a car expert. Mercedes-Benz, oh, well, I guess that should have been obvious. And he does come with a little figure of Laserbeak. So similar to like the Dinobots and Igor, just kind of like a little non-articulated figure. But it's cool to have him. You can't really make him in scale and make him a fully fleshed out figure, so it makes sense. But this Soundwave is an entirely new mold. And I can just tell you about looking at him, he's amazing. Go ahead, buy him. Great reviews done. No? That's not good enough? Okay, fine. We'll do the whole thing. So if you know my reviews, you know how they go. We're gonna take a look at Soundwave's packaging, we're gonna see his instructions, then I'll break him out, look at him in both his Mercedes-Benz mode and his robot mode. Don't have a whole lot to compare him with right now. I have the Revenge of the Fallen version, so I guess we'll do a group shot with that. And then at the end, I'll get my final thoughts. So his packaging, it's your standard fare deluxe class packaging. Got this cool render of him on the front, looking very menacing, and you got Laserbeak perched on his shoulder there, as it should be. Dark of the Moon call out right there, and he just really dominates this packaging. I mean, when I say dominates, he's not huge, he's not very big, there's a lot of gappage here, but he just looks very cool. They did an awesome job with the paint. I mean, they seem to have really stepped up their paint game for this new batch, I'd say this new year of Studio Series releases, because these are It's not 2020 yet, but I think these are meant for 2020. Seem to be investing a lot more in the paint, which is good, because that's somewhere I felt Studio Series was very lacking previously. You can see all sorts of detail here, so that's really cool. And again, you got Laserbeak there. Turn to the side, close up of his big old scary face. And then over here, you have his renders for robot and vehicle mode. And boy, it's rare that the final product looks better than the renders, huh? He looks completely unpainted here, so I am really glad he ended up looking like this. Very happy with that. You can see he comes with his backdrop, which is called the Serengeti Hideout, which I think that's the name of the location there in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Got this licensed little sticker on here, which is cool. Mercedes-Benz call out all that copyright that they got to go through. And yeah, that just all looks pretty cool. And then on the side, you just have a full body shot of his render there. So, very nice. Right here, Soundwave's instructions. Done up in that lovely, hard to see anything purple. All right, and the first bit is transforming him from the robot to the vehicle mode. So, pretty lengthy process. He's a fairly complex figure. This shows you how to mount Laserbeak onto the roof of the car. So that's pretty cool. And then also shows you how to perch Laserbeak on his arm in robot mode. So pretty straightforward. Then you get your cross cells for Bumblebee and then the RC triplets. Now here's the Mercedes-Benz vehicle mode. Looking very nice and shiny. It's done up in all this silver paint, pretty reminiscent of the treatment that the new 2007 Megatron figure got. And then here you can see Laserbeak perched on top. The way it works is he's got this little tab that's kind of between his knees. It just plugs into that hole right there. So you can keep him on Soundwave in the vehicle mode, just so you don't lose him. And a lot of surface detailing here. It all looks very, very nice. You got the Mercedes-Benz logo there. Got the model name, which I'm not really an expert on Benzes, so got what's supposed to be the license plate holder there. And yeah, overall it's just very nice looking. Wish they would have done clear plastic for the headlights, but I get why that couldn't happen. As far as how well it rolls, pretty well actually, so that's good, no clearance issues. There's a whole lot going on inside of his windows, or you can see all these robot parts, that's unfortunate. And then down here, aside from Soundwave's head, most of this looks like what you might see on the underside of a car. And then you got the appear to be like speakers right here underneath, which don't make much sense, but they come into play in robot mode. So yeah, overall, very much impressed with this vehicle mode. And it all comes together quite nicely. Now it's time to transform Soundwave. So the first thing you want to do, you're going to bring his hood section down. Just kind of disconnect it from where it's at. Then you are going to flip this panel around. It's kind of in there, so you have to work it a little bit. Give yourself some more clearance, whatever you got to do to get it going. Just kind of push it in there. I hate how hard you have to push that in because there is paint on that surface, and worry about scraping it off. All right, then you're going to detach these doors or arms, whatever you want to call them, from the main body of the vehicle, like so. Swing them up, put them out of the way, like that. You're gonna pull on his head. Oh, Lord, not that hard. Pull on his headlights until they detach. Wow. Not like that. All right, you're gonna want to turn them around. So basically put them upside down, and then let them slide on top like that. You're gonna see this little piece wedge in there and just kind of hold it in place. So do that with the other one. Get spun around. You may have some clearance issues, so just kind of fiddle with it till you get it right. All right, so there's that. Now let's bring his arms down, detach them from these like shoulder panels, like so. Bring the shoulder panels down, rotate his arms, like that. Open these up, get his hands out. I'm gonna cheat and use a piece of chromia to get them out, because they're kind of in there. Same thing here. Just kind of hook it if you have to. There is some friction holding these in pretty well. All right. There you go. You can see he's starting to come together now. So this should snap into place better. There you go. These will actually plug in on the top. All right, so now let's go ahead and attach his pelvis area to his torso. So just kind of snap in place like that. And we are going to fold his roof of his car and everything inward, like so. Disconnect his feet from one another. Rotate all this down to get his feet to come out. Same thing here. All right. Now we have Soundwave's completed robot mode. You can see here he is just beautifully done. It's got so much sculpted detail, so much nice shiny paint. He really is like a mini masterpiece toy. Now as far as posability, it's got a ball jointed head which moves around quite freely, though can't look to the side very far because of clearance problems. Shoulders are a hinge and swivel combo, kind of like the Warp Cybertron toys. He's got a single elbow bend, bicep swivel. The hands don't articulate. He does not have a waist swivel, mainly due to his transformation, big old backpack and everything. Ball jointed hips, has a thigh swivel, but it's pretty tight and doesn't have much clearance, so it doesn't do a lot of good. I guess this one's a bit looser, huh? He's got a single knee bend, and that's about it. The feet don't really articulate in this mode. They're just kind of held in place. But yeah, he's got, I would give him a moderate amount of posability, is what I would say. But he looks cool. I mean, he is just this bruiser of a character, you know. I love the tires kind of up on his shoulders there. I love the big shoulder panels. These like speakers all around his forearms, which, you know, he's Soundwave, right? Plays music, so he's got speakers. Really well sculpted hands. Love the detailing here. The only thing I don't really love is the backpack. Wish they could have folded this up better, or done something more with it, but I'll get over it. The one thing I will say, it's kind of odd, is how his head is like this flat, light gray color for the most part, while the rest of him is silver. Not sure why they went that route, because his head doesn't really match most of the rest of him. Only really matches his hands and his like knee details. So kind of odd. The other thing it matches is this guy that I want to show you, old laser beak. And you know, he's an accessory, so he's nothing special. He's like almost like just a little slug figure. But he's got a lot of great sculpted detail. It's quite big because of his wingspan. Got those painted red eyes there. And then he has this articulation for his legs that just kind of enables him to pivot and angle around. It's also, you know, what you use to attach him to Soundwave's car mode. Now, if you want to attach him to the robot mode, it actually works on a C-clip connection, which is not something you see much these days. Both of Soundwave's forearms have these little bars on them, and he's got these little indentations pretty much. You just go, press his feet down on the bar. Not a very tight connection, but it's tight enough to where Soundwave can, you know, hold him on there pretty well. His shoulder doesn't want to go up that far. That's weird. So yeah, there you go. You get Soundwave menacingly wielding old laser beak, ready to send him on the attack. And I mean, this is just such a cool figure. He's not very big. He's actually quite short, which I always thought Soundwave would be taller, but I'm assuming he's scaled properly. But yeah, despite him being so small, they just pack so much detail in this guy. It's amazing. Now, I don't have the original Dark of the Moon Soundwave, but I have his Revenge of the Fallen toy, so there's that, I guess, I can do a comparison with. If anything, it's just a way of comparing the first toy this character's ever received and now his latest. And, you know, obviously very different alt modes. One turns into a satellite, one turns into a real Earth car. And you can see that the Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave is quite a bit taller, because at the time they weren't too worried about scale. Now there is a rumor, or leak or something, that they're doing another Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave for Studio Series. I'm not sure what they'll do for that. He had a pretty minor appearance in that movie. Never even appeared in robot mode, but we'll see what happens there. And I think that'll bring us to the end of our look at Soundwave. He's an amazing figure, but there's only so much you can say about him because he's, you know, just simple transformer, car mode, bot mode, you know, no real crazy gimmicks aside from the accessory. He is one of the most gorgeous Studio Series toys ever made. He's also a little crooked here on his chest piece. Fix that. Oops. I'm absolutely impressed with the job they did on him. I've never owned, again, the original Dark of the Moon Soundwave or any, you know, version of that. So I'm not sure how he stacks up against the others, but I imagine he at least holds his own pretty well. So I personally would very much recommend picking him up if you can find him. I know his Studio Series Wave hasn't really been widely available in stores here, but you can probably find him online, or, you know, just keep hunting. Check your Walmarts, your Targets, you know, whatever local chains you got, because he is just gorgeous to look at. So much fun, and I'm happy I picked this guy up. Of course, that is just my take on Soundwave. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions are in the comments section. If you like this video, go ahead and toss it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my reviews or any other content I make, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. Thank you for joining me for this look at a very, very impressive Soundwave figure. And with all that said, I will see you next time.